Like no other illness, it tests our ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, to empathize with the plight of our fellow man. While most would agree that the AIDS orphan or the transfusion victim or the wrong wife contracted, that this is true, no fault of their own. It has to often been easy for some to point to the unfaithful husband or the promiscuous youth or the gay man and say, "This is your fault, and you have sinned." I don't think that satisfactory response. My faith reminds me that we all are sinners. My faith also tells me that, as Pastor Rick has said, it is not a sin to be sick. My Bible tells me that when God sent His only Son to earth, it was to heal the sick and comfort the weary, to feed the hungry and clothe the naked, to befriend the outcast and redeem those who stray from richness. Living His example is the hardest kind of the faith, but it is surely the most rewarding. It is a way of life that cannot only light our way as people of faith, but God is to new and better politic as Americans. For in the end, we must realize that the AIDS orphan in Africa present us with the some challenges as the gang member in Shot Center or the Katrina victim in New Orleans or the injured mother in North Dakota. We can turn away from these Americans and blame their problem on themselves and embrace a politic that punitive and petty, divisive and small. Or we can embrace another tradition of politics, a tradition that has changed from the days of our founding to the glory of the civil rights movement, a tradition based on the simple idea that we have stake in one another and that what binds us together is greater than what drives us apart, and that if not, people believe in the truth of that proposition and act on it, then we might not solve every problem, but we can get something meaningful done for the people with whom we share this earth. Let me close by returning to the story of Leo, that South African woman burdened by so much death and despair. Sometime after death of her fifth sibling, she decided that she wasn't just going to stand idly by. She decided to call the town's first public meeting about the AIDS crisis, something that no one had even talked about, let alone meet. About 200 people show up. Some had walked for miles to get there, a view with their grandchildren on their back. One by one, they stood up and broke their silence, and they told their stories. Stories of tragedy and stories of hope. And when they were done, they rose and said, "I don't know whether we will win this war, but I'm looking for people who will stand up and face the reality. The time for sitting silently has come to an end." Everything did not suddenly get better after that meeting, but some things did. Despite all the children she had to raise and all the sick relatives she still had to care for, Leo still decided to open the gates open she had dreamed about so long ago. And she began building a daycare center that would house 100 orphans, and she started plans on a youth center and a soup kitchen. I heard that part of the story and I think, if this woman who has so little and has lots so much can do so much good, if she can still make a way out of no way, then what are we waiting for? Quarantine says that we are all of one spirit, and that if one part suffer, every part suffer with it. But it also says If one part is honor, every part rejoices with it. On this world each day, it is the stories of overcoming and not just illness that the world needs to hear. Yes, the stories of sadness call us to suffer with the sick. But stories like Leo's also call us to honor her example. Rejoice in the hope that it brings and work to help her find that brighter future. Thank you and God bless you.